All right, I'm going to talk about AI and ableism again, so if that's going to make you angry, scroll. This right here was what I was talking about when I said some people are using anti-AI sentiment to mask ableism, or as an excuse for ableism, or they just regress into ableism. Beethoven was literally deaf. Shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil. In any other situation, if you were talking to a disabled person and you said, Beethoven was literally deaf, shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil, it would be considered ableist. If a disabled person comes to you and says, I struggle with hand tremors and motor function, so I find visual art challenging, and you said, Beethoven was literally deaf, shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil, that would be ableist. If that same disabled person says, I struggle with visual art because of motor skills, so AI makes it easier, and you say, Beethoven was literally deaf, shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil, that's still ableist. You don't get to be ableist just because someone is doing something you don't like. We've been over this for a lot of other marginalized groups, right? Like, you don't get to dead name or misgender a trans person if they're doing something you don't like, or if they commit a crime or something like that. You don't get to then default to transphobia. You don't get to say homophobic slurs to gay people who have done things that you don't like. And the same thing applies to disabled people who have done things you don't like. You can tell them why you think AI isn't the answer. You can give them other resources that, can help them pursue the hobbies that they like. You can even explain why you think AI is damaging in the long run. All of that's valid. But if you tell them, shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil, that's still ableism. The last time I posted about this, people just said that I was saying hating on AI art makes you ableist, and I'm not saying that. But hating on it in this way is ableist. It is essentially using disabled people as ammo in the pro-AI, anti-AI discussion. And you shouldn't use disabled people as ammo. You shouldn't generalize about a whole community of people, each of which has their own individual needs and challenges. In fact, there are plenty of disabled artists who will tell you their opinions about AI art. So, maybe listen to them instead of, using disabled people as a monolith and telling them to shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil. I don't know, man. It feels really icky to me that, disabled people are used as cannon fodder. They're caught in the crossfire of this AI debate. It sucks. Disabled people aren't just a talking point. And I don't like the idea that people can just say ableist things as long as it's for a good cause, right? That's just not true. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is you can speak out against the damages AI is doing without throwing disabled people under the bus. And I think you should try and do that. Because Beethoven was literally deaf, shut the fuck up and pick up a pencil, that's not it, buddy. That's not it.